Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a challenge that, well, it can really halt your plans. We're talking about navigating those tricky document processes.
Yeah, specifically getting things like apostilles, for important federal documents. Think FBI background checks, maybe USCIS paperwork for immigration, stuff like that.
Exactly. And we've got this source material, a clip, that really just lays bare how complex it is. And the time pressure involved, it's intense.
What's interesting is how the source kind of zeroes right in on the main problem lots of people run into. It's not like just admin work.
Right. Delays here can genuinely put your future, your big goals, on ice.
For sure. The source even uses this phrase about slow paperwork, literally parking your plans in a red tape garage.
That really paints a picture, doesn't it? Captures the frustration. So our mission today is to unpack what this source is telling us. Like, what's the core issue it sees?
And crucially, what specific solution does it actually propose to, cut through all that red tape?
It definitely highlights that risk of losing valuable time, missing critical deadlines.
Yeah, and when you're dealing with federal level stuff, FBI checks for overseas jobs or travel, USCIS applications, getting that official okay, the apostille, it can be, well, known for being slow and complicated.
Right. An apostille, just for anyone maybe not familiar, it's basically that international certification. Makes your document official for use in other countries that are part of the Hague Convention.
And getting that specific one at the federal level, the one that goes through the U.S. Department of State, that often has steps that just aren't built for speed.
You're dealing with huge volumes, specific hoops to jump through, delays can easily happen, and the source points right at the sweet spot.
But it doesn't just dwell on the problem, which is good. It pivots pretty quickly to what it frames as the answer, the way to beat those delays.
It really stresses finding a solution that's specifically geared towards speed and accuracy, of course, especially for these crucial documents.
According to the source, you basically need someone, some service, with real expertise, someone who knows the federal apostille process inside out. The little details, the potential pitfalls.
Which brings us to the actual solution presented in the source material. It names a specific service, apostillefeepreport.com.
Right. And the source explicitly says this service is designed for speed and accuracy. It claims they're, quote, experts at cutting through the delays that you often see with federal documents.
It talks up their fast track service, specifically for federal paperwork. And it even mentions, interestingly, that they can work straight from a PDF report.
Like one you might get from a channeler. Those private services that help speed up the FBI check submission.
Exactly. So the source suggests they can integrate with those newer, faster methods right from the start, which, should help speed the whole thing up.
And it gives concrete details, too. It sort of frames this as a reliable, actual place. It says their office is in Tewksbury, Massachusetts.
Implying, like, a real brick-and-mortar presence, not just some website. Accessible.
Yeah. For anyone needing this done right, and importantly on time, the source gives clear ways to connect. It says you can call them at 978-424-4629.
Or even visit the office, 1215 Main Street in Tewksbury. It presents them as, an experienced agency you can trust to handle this properly, efficiently.
Okay, so let's just quickly recap. The source material we looked at, it identifies this big problem. Serious delays, lots of complexity in getting apostilles for vital federal documents like FBI background checks.
Right, and then it puts forward a specific solution, apostillefeepreport.com. It highlights their claim speed, their accuracy, and this kind of tangible local presence in Tewksbury as the way to avoid getting your plans stuck.
And given the source's emphasis on urgency, it uses that line, your future won't wait. It really leaves you with something to think about.
Yeah. What's the final thought?
Well, it makes you consider, what is this need for specialized, really fast services like the one presented here? Tell us about how vital it is to navigate these administrative processes efficiently, especially when your personal goals, your timelines are hanging in the balance.
It definitely frames bureaucratic speed or the lack of it as potentially a huge factor in major life events, something to mull over.